Alaikum wa rahmatullah, my dear teachers. I am Sajad Akbar from Diet Sopore Baramulla. As already discussed in previous presentation, the online registration of schools and the nomination of students on Inspire Awards MANAK web portal. Today here we will discuss how to reset or retrieve the lost password of Inspire Awards MANAK. This is one of the common issue most of the school authorities are facing. Due to some reason, sometimes they forgot the password and the user ID of Inspire Awards MANAK, or sometimes they just have lost the complete record including the email ID, the user ID and the password of email ID and password of this Inspire Awards MANAK web portal. So how to deal with these situations and how to reset the password and user ID, we will discuss here in detail. Since as a school authority we can have two cases. Number first is that as a school authority we have forgot the user ID and password, but we know the email ID and the password of email ID. The second case a bit complex. We have lost the complete record, that is user ID and password of Inspire, as well as the email ID and the password of email ID. So first, here simple, we will discuss the case first. What if we have forgot the user ID and password but we know the email ID and password, and in this case how to get the password, how to reset the password. So simple first step is that we need to go to the home page of Inspire Awards MANAK by typing the web address, that is inspireawards-dst.gov.in, and here we need to click on school authority details as shown here by the arrow mark, and once we will click on this we will get a sub option, that is check your application ID and email ID and application information. So we need to click on the first menu. We can click on second menu if we are sure what our email ID is. Then we need to click on application information. If like we don't know what our email ID is exactly, so we need to click on the check your application number and email ID. So once we click on this we will get a page. Here we will click on school details here and we will select the state, district and school here. For example, I have selected the state in Jammu and Kashmir, the district is Baramulla, and I have selected the school here, one of the school. And once I will click on this, I will click on submit, I will get the record of this very school with the name of the school, the person who have submitted this information at that time of registration, the mobile number, the email address and the application number. Since in this case we just need the application number, so better is we just copy this, highlight this application number. It starts with APP. Once we click on this we just copy this because we will need this in the next slide, and once we select copy this application ID, this will help us in resetting the password. And after this we need to go to the home page again, but here we need to go to the school authority and we need to click on login button. And once we click on login button, after that we need to click here, we will get this page, login button page, but here we need to click on forgot password. Once we will click on forgot password we will get a new page, and here we will, since we have copied the application number, we will paste it here and putting the captcha code we will click on get password. Once we will click on this get password we will get a message, password has been sent to the registered email. Since already discussed that in case first we know the email ID and we know the password of email ID, since we need to log in that very email ID which is already registered on the Inspire Awards MANAK web portal. So once we will log in into that very email ID. A message from Inspire will be in the inbox as shown here. We will open that message. It will be like this. You can see there will be a user ID highlighted. I have highlighted it here, and we need to copy this in advance because it will help us in resetting the password. But after just highlighting and copying this in advance, we need to click on the link below. Just when we click on this link, a new page will come where we need to reset the password. So simple. The user ID we have copied, we need to paste it here. After that, we need to like put the password, retype the password. But one thing we need to mention, we need to rather be extra careful, is that the password should be the combination of capital letter, small letter, the alphanumeric and special character. So I will set an example, like if I put the password like diet at the rate of 123, but in this password I have kept the D capital, so it will include the capital, rest since are small, DIET at the rate of 123. So D is capital, rest is small, it includes at the rate, that special character, and 123 it includes as well as numbers. So you can make the password like this, and because it will not accept the password which will be without caps lock, or which will be without the special character or alphanumeric numbers. So once we type this password, click on save button. Here an important note: once we have created this password, we need to write down this on some notebook. But here, after this, we just need not to log in at the same time. Better is we need to close all these tabs, and after that we need to close the browser, and after closing the browser we need to restart this browser again, or we need to start the browser as a fresh. After that we need to go to the home page, and after that to school authority and to the login. We need to click on login, and we need to, once we log in, we put the user ID and password, we will get to the school authority page. And here there is some updation in the Inspire Awards MANAK web portal. That is, you need to first update in the UDICE of the school. Once you update it, after that we need to go to the dashboard, and after clicking on go to dashboard, we will reach to the main page of school authority, and here we can go for the nomination of the students. So in case first the password has been, we can say, resetted or retrieved just by getting the app ID and clicking on forget password, and after clicking on forget password you type it the application ID, and automatically a mail is sent to our registered email ID, and from registered email ID we just we can say retype it the password or reset it the password, and after that we need to close the browsers, start it again, and just go for the login again. So this is the first case where we can reset the password. The second case is a bit typical, where we have lost the complete record, we have lost the user ID, password, and even we don't know what the email ID of our uh, Inspire Awards MANAK web portal was. But that email ID we can get from the Inspire Awards MANAK web portal, as already discussed in previous slides. So in that case, the better solution is, if you don't know the password of email, so better is you create a new mail that should be official, and we can like replace that old email by this very new email ID. But this will not be done by the school authority, this has to be done by district authority. So for that case, school authority need to send following details to district authority. First thing is old email ID, application ID, and This old email ID and application ID we can easily get from Inspire Awards MANAK web portal as already discussed. Second thing is we need to send the new email ID, but it should be working one, and this new email ID will replace the old email ID, and the new fresh user ID and password link will be sent to this new email ID. The district authority will update the new email ID and will send the fresh user ID and password link to this new email ID. Once you just communicate, school authority will communicate with the district authority, that is by these things: old email ID, application ID new, and district authority will automatically, after proper communication, they will update this email ID and they will send the fresh link to this new email ID. After that, the school authority can easily create the new password and log in accordingly as discussed in previous slides. So in this way, we can say that an email ID if lost, or user ID if we forgot, or the password if we forgot, we can reset the password. We can even change our email ID if by the new email ID after proper communication with the district authority. So since this was the most common issue our school authority is facing, so I hope this presentation has helped my dear respected teachers, and this is my email ID and this is my contact number. So a request from my side is that just subscribe, like and share, so that other teachers, if any in your close contact, will get help by this presentation. Thank you very much. Take care.